Where there were people voting for gay marriage, before any of that, Ballroom was ours. That was like our safe space. So in my mind, like, Ballroom will always be important to us.
We're back. We just Hey guys, welcome to The Key. I'm Prince Derek Daw.
And I'm James.
And today we have a special guest with us, Jon, because we're going to be talking about ballroom culture.
Yes.
Stay with us.
What we're gonna do for our icebreaker today is hangman, but instead of regular words, we're just gonna use house names. So that looks like it's six letters.
M. Oh, I got one. Oh, snap. So
Oh.
good. All right, bring us through.
Okay. A.
Ooh.
Amazon.
Look at
There
it.
we
House
go.
of Amazon. That's good.
Leo. Who else? Wait, that's kind of rude to say.
Right. She's the queen of Vogue, so.
What can't you say about Naomi? Like, she's the driving force for how ballroom became mainstream, at least in our generation.
I watched her like tear up the floor for like the past like maybe 4 or 5 years. Like just
Okay.
watching stuff on YouTube and Instagram. It's just good to see her still doing what she loves doing, what she's good at. Being a face for ballroom culture for those who are unawares. You know what I mean? L.
Oh no. No. An H? Oh fuck.
God damn.
S.
Oh
Did we say A yet?
She just want to add
Yeah, hey, let's get a vowel in this bitch.
Oh, shit.
Is it Armani?
No.
No.
This is really bad.
It begins with an A.
And it ends with a blank.
Is there an O in there?
Oh no.
Oh, we got an arm. All right, we gotta get one more arm. Okay.
You can add the I.
Maybe it's Atelier. No, like maybe it's House of
Alliance.
Aviance. I feel like that was
Right, we were about to die.
So we don't get no like hint or nothing.
I'm
Like
just gonna go with an A. I feel like there's an A in every house.
Okay.
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 Frank.
An I? Is there an I in there somewhere?
What about a B?
Don't do that now.
Is there an O?
Oh, what other?
Shit, talking about
A E. What other?
A E?
There's gotta be some more vowels.
Yeah, there's one about
Right,
something.
got to be.
Can I phone a friend? Like,
That didn't help.
What's that?
Oh,
What's that?
Is there a U in there somewhere?
Are you?
Yeah, there has to be a U in there. Like, there's no way that.
okay.
Yeah, no.
Very good. Good.
Allure.
There we go.
One of my favorite performers in the whole wide world actually came from the House of Allure, Tamaya. Like, that's mostly what I know. And Ricky and Tamaya, they came out of Allure.
Don't give the man no ideas.
I'm gonna go with an A again.
Is it his house?
Garcon?
Dun, dun, ba-dum.
Y'all guessing too quick.
We're the most fab house in ballroom. There's nothing else to say. Garcon is a really special house to me. When I actually started like looking into like going into ballroom, I just watched the Garcons and how they maneuvered that night. And from that night I knew like I have to be a Garcon. That's where my heart was. I loved the structure. I loved the brotherhood that they showed each other. When I reached out to people, it was so easy for them to reach back to me. Like, it was just like a very open, like loving house from the beginning.
A E?
You know what's coming next.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
An I?
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yikes.
Here you go.
We're just gonna try to get rid of all the vowels first.
Yeah.
Then we can fit it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, we got
Maybe
strategy.
with some vowels.
Oh, okay.
Wait, who said oh?
Oh, I was saying like, oh, like.
No.
You know
said,
what?
oh. Do the you.
You.
Do the
You.
you.
The House of Mugler.
There we go.
Okay.
That made sense.
They're a legendary house too, iconic house.
I know that they're a fab house and they're up there with the Garçons in that same level of like fabness. All of the best like performance people come out of Mugler, in my opinion. When I look for performance, it's the people in my house and then it's Mugler. Like, so.
Who's the one who moved Mugler? Hold on. Alex?
Alex, yeah. He's one of the first like Vogue femmes that I really paid attention to. When I started watching clips, like it was this clip of him versus Jubilee that I would always find on YouTube. And I used to watch that like back to back to back. Like that was such a dope battle. And then watching him go from that and then elevating into the greatness that he is in ballroom, even outside of ballroom.
Yeah, because he dances outside of ballroom.
Yeah.
Like, international. And
yeah, he's
DJs
definitely international. He's so dope. Like his talent, you can't deny talent.
Well, it is time for us to chit chat and get down to the key.
All right.
So this episode is about ballroom culture. And we have our good expert here, Jon, who's gonna help us in this conversation. One of the first things that we're gonna talk about in this discussion is our first experiences with ballroom culture.
So for me, ballroom was like sort of this thing that I kind of fumbled upon. I used to like a lot of like different types of music, different types of dance or whatever. So I would be on YouTube just looking up stuff, and then I came across like ballroom clips. It was like really like, it was a different experience for me. I was so young, like I think I was like maybe 12, 13. And like, I don't even know how I got to there. I just liked house music, and that's just kind of like where it led me on YouTube. So like that was my first experience, and from there it was just like, wow, like this is like a world, like it's just a different world. I really enjoyed what I was watching at first.
I went to a retreat with one of my with the organization I was volunteering at, and one of the counselors actually, she still work at Tyra. She was trying to get me to, you know, do a little bit of hand performance, and I'm just like, wait a minute, I don't know nothing about this. I don't want to offend nobody or anything like that. So I was just like, I sat and watched, and I fell in love with the whole ballroom culture. I personally can't be a part of it because I have major anxiety, but I love watching the structure behind it, the culture and everything like that.
My first experience of like underground ballroom culture was actually watching a documentary on YouTube. I hadn't seen Paris is Burning yet. I was like maybe 20. And then I just started seeing, like you said, performance clips. I still didn't know anything about Vogue. For a long time, most I knew about Vogue was that it was a magazine and that Madonna had a song called Vogue. And I was like, oh, the dance from that. Watching them, you know, get out there on the floor and give everything, and then watch them hug each other after, like, they're competing. You know, so it's like sportsmanship. I like it.
What do you guys think are the biggest misconceptions regarding ballroom?
One big misconception about ballroom is that it's just all drama. I disagree with that. I feel like anywhere that you go, in terms of like a scene or just a place in general, you're always going to have instances where people are going to be in situations where they get upset. You're always going to have arguments, you're always going to have fights, all of that. So like, especially in a competitive environment that is ballroom, we're literally competing against each other. Of course there's going to be drama. So I feel like that's definitely a misconception. It's not like we just do it just to be dramatic. Like there's actually reasons behind it.
Do you feel as though people hold on to the like grudges and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And it carries over big time?
Yeah. I feel like whether it's in the Kiki scene or the mainstream scene, like you're always going to have people who are in their feelings about these things a little bit more than everybody else. So there's always going to be drama that's going to escalate from something as simple as just like a rumor or just like a disagreement at a ball or something. They're always going to escalate when you have people who are competitive and have competitive natures. I think at the end of the day, it's all about good sportsmanship. If you have good sportsmanship, a lot of these things wouldn't get to you too much.
And now we have a special video response from Bugs Gutta.
Yo, what up? I'm Bugs Gutta, a hip-hop artist, the CEO of Pink Gorilla Entertainment. Before all that, legendary Destiny Rebel, the first legend to be deemed for drag's performance. One of the biggest misconceptions about ballroom for me is that everything is always good and everybody has your best interests at heart, and a lot of people just, it's a lot of vultures in this culture, and people who just will take advantage of you, basically. So before you just jump into something, make sure you know what you get yourself into. Search You know, find a good house, a good family, good people around you, because you don't want to be mixed in with the wolves and get ate up. So, you know.
Of course, with everything, with the good, there's always the bad.
Right.
So I definitely understand that response. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Bugs. With you being, you know, part of the ballroom scene and reporting to have such a great experience, is there any validity to what Bugs was saying?
I think that, especially because I came into the ballroom scene a little bit older and a little bit more into my adulthood, I was able to like maneuver around the real and the fake very easily. I think that coming into the ballroom scene younger, especially with ages that we see like from 14, 16, 18, you probably get some younger than that. I think that with a lack of maturity and a lack of understanding of how people are going to maneuver and how people, you know, move about things, I think you can definitely get swept into the bad of ballroom.
So I also think that's the reason why I'm kind of like, you know, away from it sometimes, because I know there's some times where the drama does trickle into different parts of your life as well, whether it's your personal life, sometimes even your work life, because people are that bold and that crazy. Now see, I'm not that one.
Because of the negative air around
So
some of the ballroom history about they're always listen. They got gang signs too. There's a fight at every ball, so that's what I thought it was at first. Damn. The houses compete against each other for a lot of money, and if they don't win, and somebody's on this, if a particular person is commentating, for a particular person's on the judges panel, like whatever reasons, chairs are fly. That's when I started seeing the other videos of like the aftermaths of balls.
Somebody was always getting maced at a ball.
Do you have to bring your mace? Is that how you get in free? He's like, I don't know, I don't work the door.
Sometimes you gotta get your money. If you think a bitch didn't beat you.
If you think of who?
If you think a bitch didn't beat you.
If you think a bitch didn't beat you, you gotta mace them? That's part of the code. Oh, jeez. So I won't be walking any balls because, one, I don't have mace.
No, but on a more serious note, I think that the violence thing is like, again, you're in a competitive environment. That's what comes from it.
True.
We used to go to dance competition when I was in college and get into arguments with people we were battling against, or at least like competing against.
So, given the history of ballroom and its prevalence today, you know, especially with shows like Pose on FX and its reemergence, we're seeing it on red carpets and we're seeing it being involved in conversations. Why do you feel that ballroom culture is important to LGBTQ culture?
I think that ballroom, at least in like the history of what ballroom is, like before there were award shows for us, before there were people rooting for us, before there were people voting for gay marriage, before any of that, ballroom was ours. That was like our safe space. So in my mind, like ballroom will always be important to us. From ballroom came so many amazing things. You have RuPaul, you have Laomi, you have Africa, you have like so many like great people who like did amazing things for the LGBTQ community and for LGBTQ history. Why couldn't you respect that? I think that is really dope that like that's our safe space. I think that's why it's so important to us. As much as people think, you know, drama and, you know, all the negative things that come from it, it's still a safe space for us. It's still somewhere that a youth can go to and say, this is my home, you know?
There's like many communities within the community, right? And like something like you said, when you look at some of the younger kids who, for the most part, especially in earlier generations, were made of runaways because they couldn't be with their families, and they created these, like you said, safe spaces within themselves. And I think if we remind ourselves of how it was at the beginning, I think that we would be able to piece a lot back together in this time when there is so many negative stereotypes about, you know, actually any part of our culture, but just understanding the history of it and why, you know, it's a good thing to be gay. It's not the negative connotation. I think we kind of internalize some of the negative things, and then we react to it within each other. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the ballroom culture get even more shine. Well, that's the key for today, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Jon, for stopping in with us. To let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at big.bad.lamb, LAMB.
And I hear you got some things cooking underground. So make sure that you guys stay on his page. And talking about keeping it locked, make sure that you follow us on Instagram at Queered Millennial.
Yes.
You can follow us on Twitter at QueeredM. And make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? Share this video, comment underneath, and let us know what you think about it. And if you have any ideas for our other upcoming shows, let us know. We want to hear from you. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.